I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not Norman Reedus, but he is on his way. But ladies and gentlemen, half of the Boondock Saints, Sean Patrick Flanery.
Always feel like a rock star with a mic, you know? So Reedus still new to his pictures. He's going to join us as soon as he gets done any minute. But how you guys doing? Everybody stand up. Turn to somebody you don't know and give them a big hug. Do it. Do it. Fuck yeah! As you were. So what's going on, kids? What should we discuss today? Who's got some questions? Talk to me. Yes, you. When is Boondock Saints 3 coming out? You know what? Duffy sent me a text when all the nastiness was going on in Boston because somebody made that meme that I think everybody's probably seen. And he says, have you checked this out? And I knew that he was writing anyway. I said, yeah, brother, you better get to writing. And his text was on it. So. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your questions, we have 2 microphones set up if you guys just want to start lining up at them.
Yeah, go to the mics, guys, so everybody can hear the questions.
Or sit there and be shy.
All right, who has a question?
Who's next? Somebody yell one out. Every part of it.
Okay.
I'm not kidding, you know, because I mean, in Hollywood, movies are very different. You know, it's there's a little bit of a corporate aspect to it, and you know, a little political correctness. Boondock threw all that shit out the window. I mean, we could do anything we wanted. It was a bunch of dudes doing dude stuff. I was almost blown away that they gave us cameras and they said, "Go make a film." We're like, "No shit." And you guys aren't coming with us? I mean, it really was like that. And that was the first time I'd ever filmed anything like that, you know, that was that lax and creative and fun and, you know, nothing was off limits. It was a killer time. It really was. Every aspect of it. And it was one of those films where every person that you meet, you stay in touch with, you know. I've done a lot of movies where at the end you exchange phone numbers and you never use them. Boondock is one of those films where you use every phone number that you get, you know. It's just one of those movies. Who's next?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm sorry?
Oh, okay. She said, don't hold it. I'm like, don't hold what? Over the microphone.
Hey, don't tell her what to do.
I want to ask a bit of a controversial question. Of course, you can decline it. Did you feel
Next.
that...
I'm kidding. You sold yourself short.
I was going to ask you to lift your shirt, but now I'm going to ask something else entirely.
Okay, go ahead. I may fucking do it anyway.
Did you see it overnight, and did you think it was a very unfair documentary?
Unfair? I mean, that's a subjective term. But, you know, at the end of the day, Troy's a passionate dude. You know, his bedside manner may be a bit abrasive. You know, some directors may say, thespians, gather round. I want you to embrace your inner lovingness and convey it through the palpable ability to convey emotion. You know, Troy's like, fucking you, get out there! And maybe that rubs people the wrong way. But, you know, his vernacular is a little bit abrasive, let's say that. But I've been friends with him since the first one. You know, it's I've never seen anything bizarre or wanky like that. But the film industry is like that. It's full of passionate people doing really passionate things. And when your dream is about to get taken away from you, maybe you say things that you might regret. But he's a solid dude, you know.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we got a question over here.
Yes.
So I was just wondering, I have the graphic novel about Boondock Saints and the write-up in it at the beginning from you, and you talked about your kids and that you're so excited that you have such a role that you're so passionate about.
Yeah.
What age do you think you'll let your kids watch Boondock Saints?
Well, I'm from Texas, so earlier than most, but man, with that level of profanity, you know, it's a funny thing. I think it's really depends on the individual. You know, I mean, kids grow up. You know, I know that countries establish an age of majority, but at the end of the day, kids are. I've seen 13-year-olds that are the developed mentally and physically. And I've seen 22-year-olds that are absolute imbeciles, you know. Yeah, sing it out. He's like, fucking that's me, man. Motherfucker's talking about me. And those are the fun ones too, by the way. You know, so it depends. I mean, you know, it's a film I'm proud of. You know, I'd love to let my kids see it, but certainly not when they're young. You know what I mean? Who's next?
Just wondering what it was like to work with the amazing Willem Dafoe.
It was killer. Willem is a killer dude. You know, I mean, a lot of people tell these stories about, you know, Willem is a method actor. You gotta call him by his character name, moonwalk out of the room, don't make eye contact, all that wanky shit you hear. You're like, what the fuck is that, man? Who operates like that? But he couldn't be more different. I mean, he's a solid dude. I mean, the only method aspect to Willem, as far as like, you know, method actors, they go around, they recite their lines and they do weird shit, and you're like, oh, fuck, maybe he's in character, weird shit like that. I'm certainly not one of those cats, but the only thing method with Willem is literally we'd be at a restaurant ordering pizza, and there was one line that he kept delivering over and over, and every fucking time I was with him. Waitress would be up there taking our order. I'm like, yeah, I'll have a pizza margarita, extra basil, and some iced tea. And Willem would look at me and go, fag. And she was hot, too. I think there was something going on. Like, I could have closed that shit, you know what I mean? She's looking at me, I'm like, fuck, never mind. Never mind. He's a funny dude, man, he really is. He's a funny dude. Who's next?
I guess I am. Hello.
Where you at?
What?
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask about, say, like, once you read the script, when you were walking into doing the movie, was it, did it become partially personal to you, knowing what's going on around in the world and just some of the screwed up shit? Or was it just another acting job?
Well, again, I'm from Texas, so that's kind of my philosophy growing up. I don't think there's enough responsibility in the world. I don't think there's any circumstances. I don't think there's any repercussions. You know, anytime you see guys heinously raping and maiming people, leaving them in a forest, duct taped to a tree, and they get like 10 years in prison, to me that doesn't sit well. No, it doesn't. I mean, so maybe I'm in the minority, but I think those people should be drugged around the back and fucking shot through the head. Meanwhile, if you're in BC and you get caught with a joint, you're like in the slammer for like, you know, it's just bizarre. Bizarre, you know. Who's next?
Just curious, in respect to Troy Duffy's reputation, has that been a contributing factor as to why the movies have been so sparse?
No, actually, there was a lawsuit between the first and the second. There was a lawsuit that had to get settled before the rights were free and clear because too long to go into it. But litigation, as soon as it was done, we went into production. And went into production overnight. I mean, we thought it was never going to happen. It was tied up in, you know, in the courts for eons. So as soon as that relinquished, it was off to the races, you know? Who's next?
Did you feel bad about the cat?
Fuck no. Fucking bitch didn't even know that cat's name. I'll tell you, man, you know, the way that we did that, Duffy called me one day and he's like, dude, Flanery, you gotta come down to the docks. I was like, what's going on? We shot it in Toronto, like right on the docks. And he goes, I got this cannon. It's what we're gonna blow up the cat with. You gotta come here and check it out. So I went down there and there's this air cannon. And we could shoot stuff against the wall. I'm like, we gotta take it out to the back and shoot stuff into the water. We were shooting shit like 30 yards into the water, just random shit, just blowing shit. Cops came, told us we had to stop. We're like, oh, sorry, man, yeah. They left. We started doing it again, man. Obviously, because you got a fucking cannon, two dudes in a cannon, right? And this thing made a 12-gauge shotgun sound. Like when you blow it off, boom! I mean, shook the walls. So on the day, we fill it with spaghetti, tomato sauce, all kind of random shit. And Rocco goes, so, Sean, is the cannon gonna make a loud noise? I said, no, Rocco. No, it's really quiet, dude. You gotta act like it's loud. He's like, yeah, okay. So this thing fucking goes off. And when you see Rock acting his ass off, that's some real shit. That thing went off, and Rock said, don't, oh. That was real. And me and the damn Reedus were peeing ourselves laughing because he freaked out so much. We shot that one time only. And Rock had a meltdown. And that's the one they use. So when you see us laughing, we're laughing out of character, man. We're like, Rock. It was genius, man. Speaking of which, Rock is one of the most genuinely wonderful human beings I've ever met. This dude is a mixture of simple and brilliance, depending on the day. When I first met Rock, this is what he does. He wanders up to me, and he goes, "Hey, Sean, do you like peanut butter?" I said, "Yeah, Rock, I like peanut butter, yeah." He goes, "Yeah, me too." I was like, did that shit really happen? One time we land in St. Louis, and he goes, "Sean, do you know that St. Louis has the Bowling Hall of Fame?" I was like, no shit, Rock, that's really cool. You bowl? No. He's just, and then he'll quote Nietzsche. Like out of the blue, you're like, damn, Rock, what is going down? He's a super good individual, man, Rocco. Super good individual, dear friend of mine. Who's next?
Got one over there.
Yes.
Did you ever expect Boondock Saints would have such a cult following that it does?
You know, the real answer is there's no recipe for a cult hit movie. You know, if there was, we'd all go make them. And the wonderful thing about Boondock Saints and the wonderful thing about a cult movie is that nobody told you guys to like it, you know? There wasn't big, you know, a $50 million ad campaign telling you, you know, using neuroscience and connection, telling you why you should see this film. Literally, it was a friend that thought you were cool enough and said, you know what, you should check this out. Because everybody's got 5 friends. They're like, okay, I can turn those 2 on, but not those 3. I'm not gonna give them, you know. It's like one of those films that like had an organic kind of growth. It's, you know, I've made a career out of films that don't come out, you know, to be honest. I've done a lot of films, some that I'm really proud of that nobody's ever seen, you know? So when you do an independent film, you don't know if it's gonna come out or it's gonna make the light of day. You just don't know. So, you know, the film came out, it was Columbine, there was all kind of shit going on, and it disappeared, you know? It really disappeared. Nobody embraced it. And one day there was 2 copies at Blockbuster. And then the next week there was a whole shelf. And then the next week there was like a section. And the next week 2 sections. And the next week, then it was a wall. And then I started seeing people with my face on their t-shirt. And it was like, whoa. You know, it really was an organic upwelling. And there's something very unique about that, you know? It's Saving Private Ryan beat us like the year that it came out on DVD. We were in 2nd place. I don't know anybody with a Saving Private Ryan tattoo, you know? You know, it's one of those films that you guys, and I say this, it's very humbling, but you guys made it what it is, not us. You know, Saving Private Ryan was an amazing film, probably the best opening 30 minutes of cinema history. But also, they spent, I don't know, 10 times what we made the film with just in advertising it, you know? And to have come in 2nd place on DVD to a film like that, it's pretty amazing. I always use the analogy, is it's a lot like, you know, if any idiot saw Saving Private Ryan, you wouldn't feel cheated on. But I'm more possessive with music than most are with lovers, you know? Boondock seems to be that kind of film where, you know, if you pull up to a stoplight, you just discovered this underground band that nobody's ever heard of, and this douchebag in a day-glow yellow Corvette is listening to it. You're like, who fucking turned him on to it? Why did they give it to him? It's kind of that film, you know? It's just a very different thing. Nobody cares if, like, some idiot saw Saving Private Ryan, like, yeah, whatever, you know? It's still an amazing film, but there's a unique ownership quality that this film has, you know, that I'm super proud of. I mean, it's reasons like this that give you the gratitude. It makes you, it humbles you, you know? Because nobody told you guys to do it. Nobody told you guys to show up here today to listen to 2 guys talk, you know? And it's all because of Boondock Saints. It's opened every door that's open to me today, you know? And I'm very thankful, so thank you guys. Who's next?
Got a little drum circle of questions over there.
Do you have any embarrassing stories about Norman Reedus that you could tell us before he gets here?
You know, it's funny. People always say, you know, God, man, you're always so mean to Norman. You throw him under the bus. It's like, I can't believe you do that. It's mean, it's rude. Let me tell you this. There's a little secret to friendships and the socialization process. Women usually compliment each other when they don't really mean it. Men make fun of each other when they don't really mean it. That's what friends do. And Norman's my friend, and I can do that. And I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a surplus of those, and I value it. I value his friendship. And I pick on him, but it's all in good nature. Having said that, if I saw somebody maliciously picking on him, I'd fuck him up from the inside out, because he's my friend. So, yeah, do I have dirt on him? You have no idea. But having said that, you know, Norman's not as verbose as me, but he's got a wealth of filth on me. That cat could throw me underneath the bus. He could tie me to the undercarriage and drag me around for like a few states. So do I have embarrassing stories? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. I will not venture to alphabetize them, categorized by alphanumerics. But yeah, I do. I got a lot of them. Good God, I could write a book. Who's next?
Over here.
Is it me? Awesome. Hello. I just wanted to say, when Boondock Saints 2, the trailer was coming out on the internet, I like literally sat on my computer refreshing until it came out. So thank you for doing that film.
You're welcome, and I'm flattered.
Yes, the question. I'm blanking.
You wanted to ask a question about.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Lay it on me.
Okay, so I know you guys occasionally like have these awesome anniversary screenings and things, and I was wondering if you had ever considered coming to Canada.
Of course,
for those,
yeah.
Because I want to go to one.
Yeah. I dig Canada, you know? Montreal's one of my favorite cities in North America. You know, I just landed in Calgary, I'll be honest with you. I rapped last night, we were doing night shoots. I went straight to the airport, caught a plane, so I haven't even slept. I probably still have makeup on. So I'm like, so I haven't seen Calgary yet, but I intend to. I intend to get up to some mischief, me and Reedus tonight. But I've been to Vancouver, I've been to Winnipeg, I've been to Toronto, I've been to Montreal, and I dig it. I have yet to see a city I don't dig. The people are nice, friendly, and I don't say that. You guys know me that follow me on Twitter. I'd tell you guys if I didn't like you. Probably my downfall, but I would. I'd be like, man, that city sucks. But I mean, every Canadian city I've been to so far has been killer. It really has. So of course we would. Yeah, of course we would. Who's next?
Right there.
Hello, welcome to Canada.
Thank you.
Welcome to Calgary. This is less a Boondock Saints question and more a Sean question. Scene, Sean, whatever.
Scene,
Thank
Sean,
you.
hey dude, you, Flanenbaum,
Sexy man on the desk.
Patrick Flanery, SP, Spoof.
Anyway, what was
That's what my
it
mom
like,
called me, Spoof.
What was it
I knew
like
I was in trouble too.
working
Spot.
on the set of The Devil's Carnival?
It was killer. It was killer. I mean, but it was very fucking creepy. I don't know if you guys know this, but Riverside, California happens to be the crystal meth capital of the world. How did I know that? I don't know how you go through life and not find that shit out. I don't know what makes all the cookers congregate in Riverside, but for some reason they're like, yeah, meet you in Riverside, we'll do some cooking. I don't know. So we shot this at an actual carnival, and the carnies were working the rides whenever we had to film. You know, so it was very creepy. Like these old, like wrinkly carnies that are like just picking on their face, and you're just like, oh shit, this is very, very weird and bizarre. It was a wonderful experience, but one night, some kids at lunchtime stole all the computers, the hard drives, that all our footage was on. Can't make this shit up. Actually, I could make it up, I'm creative. But I could even add some shit to make it even better, to be honest with you. But this really happened. So these kids, they steal the computers and they start running. Now this is like, you know, you saw that video in China where the kid gets hit by a car and everybody just keeps walking by. There's a kid like laying maim and the person's like, oh. And they keep walking and you're appalled. We're at lunchtime, and I spent a week or two so far filming stuff, and I know it's on the hard drive, and these fucks, they grab the computer and they start running. I look around to the lunchroom, and everybody's doing this. I took off fucking running. I'm like, what the fuck are you people? What the fuck fucking took our computers? Fuck out of here. So I run these little fucks all the way to their house. They run inside. I'm beating on the door. Call the cops. The cops come. Check this out. This is PC culture. Well, we'd go in there, but we don't have probable cause. I'm like, fucking, I'm telling you, I saw them go in there. You don't have probable cause? These, they work. Anyway, a lot of hooting and hollering later. Finally, they call the judge, get a warrant. They go inside. They search the house completely. They can't find shit. But they bust a couple guys for, like, drugs and whatnot. There's, like, 17 families living in this, like, one-bedroom house. Finally, they look around the perimeter, and the cats had thrown the computers over the back fence. There's, like, 4 iMacs over the back fence with all our footage on it from these crackheads. It was the most bizarre, weird experience of my life, man. It was just so weird. But it kind of went into the making. It just made it very creepy around there, you know? Because we're shooting all night shoots, which means, you know, you start at 5 p.m., you end at 5 a.m., so it's an all-night endeavor. So you're already kind of wacky from sleep deprivation, and then this shit happens. It's just like, whoa. Long-winded answer to that question, but...
We got another one down there.
Okay. Oh my. I was just wondering, because I've seen the deleted scenes from Boondock Saints. How scripted was the one talking to your mother? Because it's pretty funny.
Thank you very much. You know what's funny? It's like a script, depending on the director, you know, you're free to go off book as long as you have the general idea. You know, there's some lines that are precious, some that aren't. So the whole movie has a certain degree of improv into it. Unlike other films. The entire thing, for example, in part 2, the montage, we made that up on the day. You know, we just figured out stuff that we wanted to convey about men, you know. Why don't they share their emotions? Because it's none of your fucking business, you know. Shit like that. It's just, we made it up on the day. So a lot of it was, you know, it was left open to us, which is always kind of cool, you know. Yes, who's next?
Another one right there.
Hi. So I was just wondering, as an actor, what was your biggest challenge in Boondock Saints 1 or 2?
You know, I'm probably the wrong one to ask because, to be perfectly honest, you know, everybody talks about the process, which to this day I still don't know what it is. I don't know what it is when they're talking about it, but if they have a process and it results in good work, I embrace it. But I'm a big fan of being accommodating on the set. I don't want anybody to call me my character name. I don't want anybody to feel weird about coming up to me or anything like that. My process starts at page 1 and ends at fade out. I feel like all the information's in the script. I don't need to go kill 12 guys to know what it would feel like to play a character that kills 12 guys. I don't need to play a homeless person. I don't need to go urinate on myself and live on the street for a week and show up on the set stinking like piss. I don't need to do that, you know? So my process is a little different than some other people's, but it's very cerebral. And it involves reading it and educating yourself on specifics in the script that you need to know about, and that's pretty much it, you know? I wish I had a better answer, like, oh, I went to this dark place and I pulled out of my soul. But, you know, if a script is well written and you believe the words that you're saying, your body will take over and do some amazing shit. It really will. I don't believe in that trickery of like, I'm in a scene about, you know, my best friend dying, but I'm thinking of my dog dying when I'm 7. There's got to be a disconnect there somewhere that's readable on some level, you know? I think you have to be in that moment and actually believe the story that you're trying to convince people you're actually living. That's just me. Who's next?
Got one down there.
You ready?
Hold your hand up. You got to bring the person.
Hello.
You're right next. I promise you.
I was wondering what it was like to work with Billy Connolly. Is he as awesome as he is in real life?
To the power of 5. Let me tell you this, Billy Connolly is one of those rare individuals, you know, I mean, you look at like stand-up comedians that are quick-witted, everybody, you know, cites Robin Williams. Billy Connolly would sit Robin Williams the fuck down. Let me tell you that. This cat has been there, done that on every Tuesday. Billy Connolly, some of my best moments from filming Boondock 1 and 2 are in the van ride to the set because you're just shooting the shit with Billy. I mean, every one of his stories starts with something like, so I was having a pizza with Mick Jagger. And he said that fucking boy's got all the cheese on his slice. You're like, fuck. But he's serious. He's not making it up. Every one of his stories is like, I remember it was with Timothy Leary. You're like, damn, man. You know, I was having a beer with Maggie. Maggie who? Thatcher. And you're like, holy shit, man. The cat's really like that. He's the funniest individual you'll ever meet. If you're with him, you'll never get laid, because chicks are like, oh my God, Billy Connolly. He's got this magnetism for chicks that's incomparable. I don't know what it is, but you need to bottle his mojo and sell that shit. He's the dude, man. He is. One of the smartest, brightest, quickest, funniest cats I've ever had the pleasure working with, literally. And the van ride to the set was just in tears from his real stories, shit that really happened. And him calling people on the phone, like they're in his iPhone. You're like, oh my God, man. You know, just a wonderful dude, wonderful, wonderful dude.
Okay, we can take one from the patient lady, but if anybody has a question, just leave your hand up. We've got two beautiful women running around with a microphone. They'll try and get to you.
You mentioned you came to Winnipeg. Did you come to enjoy our cold weather or our mosquitoes or to film a movie?
I came to film something, and that was just about the coldest I've ever experienced. You know, in Canada, I'm sure you guys get it. A lot of people, when people travel, they're like, oh my God, I thought y'all lived in igloos. You know, I'm from Texas, so people are like, I thought you rode a stagecoach to school. You know, you're like, yeah, we do, actually, you know. I mean, but that was the first time that I was like, okay, this is painful. This is painful cold. It superseded uncomfortable cold, and now it's painful. I do not like that shit at all. Like, why somebody was traversing North America and stopped and said, oh, fuck, put a city here. That's too fucking cold. You know. When the Jimmy Johnson's up in the neck somewhere searching for heat, you're like, fuck this. Give me some sunshine, baby. I swear I have one. It's fucking cold. Yes. Scream it, yell it.
On DVD.
Thank you.
Props. Being that those were like about a year apart, how is that as two very, very separate characters to kind of go from one to the next?
You know, like I said, it's my process might be a little different, you know, but it's a different story. It's a different script. I mean, I have some things in common with every character. I mean, everybody has to bring part of them to the screen. It's like, I'll give you an example. It's like, you know, an actor is only really ever as good as the writing for him. And look at this dude right here!
Ladies and gentlemen, Norman Reedus! There you go, man.
How's it going? I was in the...
My boy Reedenstein!
I was taking the photo op thing, so sorry I'm late. How's it going? What are we doing? What's happening?
So it wasn't a big deal. It's writing, and it's kind of easy to launch yourself into that, you know? Who's got a Reedenstein question?
Next question? Question?
Hi, Norman. And my first comment is actually for you, Sean. Growing up, I actually had my first celebrity crush, I guess, on you, but actually on your character,
Me
Powder.
too.
And I got a lot of flack over having, I guess, a crush on Powder. And then I felt a certain amount of redemption when Boondock Saints came out, and I kind of felt like, hey, I knew that first. But anyways, my question is...
Right on.
My question is...
And he wasn't lying. He did have a crush on me, actually.
I still do.
For both of you, I guess, what was your favorite scene to film and why?
In Boondock? fucking ripping the toilet out of the ground for me.
I like the courtroom as well. That whole thingy thing.
You know, I saw that as a kid and I broke my mom's toilet because of that. She was pissed.
Your mom hates me.
A little bit.
Who's next? Yeah, right there in the red, brother.
Wipe him out, just for fun.
Whoa, what do you have on you?
If Flanery was on The Walking Dead, all the zombies would be dead.
Yes, true.
He would fuck them all up.
But,
The dude's a ninja.
Secondly, he was just telling us some dirt on you. Do you have any dirt on him?
Oh, do I?
Go ahead, it's a freebie, dude. Freebie. The floor is yours.
I mean, I'm sure I can YouTube whatever you just told me. Yeah, of course. Fuck, I've been hanging out with this dude forever. I know I have tons of dirt on him, but I'm not going to tell you. There's a bro code I won't cross. You know what I'm saying?
Who's
Hi.
next?
Got one over there?
I have one over here too.
Okay, us first.
All right. So I think what makes Boondock Saints such an awesome movie is it's so fun to watch, and you two and the cast just get along so well. What was it like when you two first met each other? Was it sort of instant friendship? Did it take some time over shooting, or what was that like?
It was like that slow motion. It was like that, actually. He wasn't lying when he said he had a crush on me.
Oh, yeah.
And one over there?
Hi, I really love the Boondock Saints, and I love The Walking Dead, but I'm also a huge fan of Dexter, and I hear that you have taken on a role. Can you give us a little bit of a disclosure or what it is?
Well, like I said, I was filming until 5 a.m., and then I went straight to the airport to catch a plane to come here. So we're doing night shoots. I play a private investigator. I own a private investigation firm. I'm an ex-cop. A lot of my dealings are with Deb, and they've got a pretty strict gag order, so that's about all I can say. But everybody's cool as balls, and I have a great time doing it.
A what order? What kind of order? What kind of order is that? A gag order?
Yes, that's the order. Yes.
Sweet.
Do you have a question there?
Can you guys go a bit into Boondocks 3? A little bit?
Say it again?
Can you go a bit into Boondocks 3? The next one, basically. A little bit of the story or what's going to go on? Any little bit?
No. But you're gonna fucking dig it.
One at the back?
Hey, what bar are you going to? But my actual question is, what was the big deal with the rope?
You got to fucking have it then, don't you?
That's probably my favorite scene in the whole movie is when you guys are arguing in the event and the rope's just going everywhere and you guys just fall. I don't know. It was
Yeah, we shot it. We were there. I love you, brother. I'm kidding, man. Who's
Another
next?
one here?
That's awesome.
Hi. You kind of just stole my question. Actually, I was wondering if you could do any lines from a conversation you had in one of the movies.
I can't remember them.
You remember the prayer?
That's no shit.
Not really.
He can't remember them.
Actually, you know, we're in the police station, and we're saying all those different languages. I couldn't remember. I kept mixing up my languages, and I couldn't remember. And the camera would do like a 360 around us, and every time it got behind Defoe, he'd go, which just kept fucking me up. And I was like, cut it out, man. And he thought it was so funny. If you look really carefully, I kind of lean back and I look up. I'm reading it off of a cue card. No shit. Yeah.
And that's the serious thespian William Dafoe. You know what I mean? That's the cat we worked with. We were like, damn, that's the one that's supposed to be like all like, we're thesping now.
He's amazing.
Yeah, killer dude.
We got another one in the back?
I don't know if I can.
Mic drop.
I have too much piercings for this microphone. So I was just wondering, I was unable to get a photo op, and I was wondering if I could get a picture with you guys.
Sure. Come up on stage.
Come on up. Who's got the next question while we have a little photo op?
Which question? We got one right here.
Hey guys, this is more of an offer than a question.
Yes.
So I brought some Cubans up with me, and I was wondering if you guys would be interested in having a smoke later on.
You brought some what?
Cuban
cigars.
Or if you're into that.
Oh, I'm not a cigar smoker, but I appreciate it.
Does it go backwards? We got an idea.
Who's got the next question?
Next question right there.
Where? Sorry?
She's got her.
Who ordered the whoop-ass fajitas?
I didn't.
Norman, give me the... I'll take it.
Who's got the next question while we're doing a Photoshop?
Question right there. Okay, it's not that hard to figure out. Here, give me the phone.
He's got finger Tourette's. He wants to push the button, but he goes, ah! Ah!
This is the best panel I've ever moderated. This is streaming live on the internet, by the way, guys. Thousands of people are just staring at this now. Okay, we got a question right there.
Who's next?
Right there.
I don't really know if it's as much of like a question or whatnot, but first I just want to say, you know, like it's phenomenal just having you guys here, having you come down to Canada, to Calgary. I mean, like it's amazing just to have you guys here, and for that, like.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, brother.
I don't know about, like, you guys probably do this quite a bit. You probably, you know, like in America and whatnot, you have all these things that you do. I know that there's always like, oh yeah, there's that one guy, he did the stupid bullshit, yeah. And I want to be that one guy when you go back to America and you're like.
I have no idea what he's talking
dude, there's
about.
that character
Succeeds.
guy from
Yeah, you got it. You're that dude.
I remember the part of that where he said, this really isn't a question, and he was right.
And
next question right there.
Hey, this is for Sean. I noticed you were very motivational for people as far as fitness and health and that. What kind of motivated you to do that? And also, do you have people that go on the internet and if anybody says anything bad about you, to get rid of it, you know?
To get rid of it?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, as you know, that when there's haters, I talk back to them, you know. I do it. Like I said, I have a hard time holding my tongue. What got me into it is my mom and dad, you know. My mom and dad were smokers ever since I can remember. I fucking hate it with zenith of gusto. That's a fucking long-term project for me, brother, but I'm gonna crack it. You know, my mom and dad were both overweight, and quite frankly, it's just out of selfishness, because I want them around here a long fucking time. I don't want them to leave early, that's it.
Okay, we got another question right there.
Hey, I was just wondering, what is one of the greatest places you guys have traveled to? Because I really love traveling, and I want to know more about traveling.
Reedus.
Wow. I like Cuba. Cuba's cool.
So no biggie that you got cigars. My boy went there.
Tokyo's cool. Fuck, I don't know. I like traveling too. Calgary's cool. What?
For me, it was Prague. Oh, a lot of lovers out there for Prague, yeah. I found it fucking beautiful. They managed to go through world wars without so much as a gunshot, and it's still, everything is perfectly intact. You know, cobblestone roads that lead up to these old buildings that you're certain, like, house like a museum with no newer book than 300 years old, and you look in and it says, Whopper, 12 krona? Whoa, shit. You know, because I mean, the legislation, you can't change the architecture, so it's beautiful there. I found that quite.
Dude, if you go from into Old Town, you go over the Charles Bridge.
Yeah.
You make your first right. There's an old jazz club. There's some Bluebird or some shit like that. Jazz club has this big archway carved in the archway. Norman.
Well, there's a chick named Svetlashka that if you look at her ass, I'm kidding. I gotta sit my boy down though, you know.
Seshlastka? What was that fucking name?
There's two lines that I remember from Czech. You know, like I said, you know, good friends always compliment each other. Things that he's not good at, I'm good at, and vice versa. He's got a shit memory, I got a great one. Two lines, only two things that I remember from Czech are Gdea Mysnik Knihovna, which is where's the local library, and Všechny palachinky slečlahačko strojč se do pradila, which means, and I'll say it again so you know I'm not making that shit up. Všechny palachinky slečlahačko strojč se do pradila means take the pancake, put whipped cream on it, and shove it up your ass. Where's the local library? And throw that pancake up there.
Okay, guys, we're running a little low on time. We got some quick questions we can answer. Let's fire them off.
Hi. I was just wondering what brought up the idea to make a sequel for the Boondock Saints?
You guys.
Another one right there. Or not. Okay, we'll just go right here.
Hi, I was just wondering if you've ever got a chance to work with any of your childhood acting heroes and what kind of stories you guys can tell about that.
Yeah, Debbie Harry played my mom in a movie. That was cool. Yeah, and none of that, she's giving me a bath in the beginning of the film, and I'm way too old to be getting a bath from my mom. And then I have sex with her, and I kill her, and then I take her dead body on a bus and leave town. It's called 6 Ways to Sunday, but I used to have a huge crush on Debbie. So figure that weird thing out, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I got a question for Norman Reedus. What was it like working on Walking Dead with Michael Roker?
He's cool. I mean, he's a tornado of a dude, you know what I mean? He's very intense. He's very into his roles. He cares a lot about it. He wants to get it right, and he's a lot of fun. I got lucky with brother roles in the past 10 years, so he's awesome. I like him a lot. He's a good friend of mine.
We got another one there.
All right, this one's for Sean. In the first scene in the meatpacking plant, how hard was it for you to keep a straight face expecting a slab of meat in the face?
He's heard that before, by the way.
I have actually. Maybe you guys remember when he said he had a crush on me?
He kept a straight face, though.
No, let me tell you, because it's Reedenstein, I knew that fucker was gonna throw it, man. Like, there's like movie smack, you hit somebody like, oh, he just like smacked. No, the motherfucker cracked me with that shit. Motherfucker, and it was a real stake. I mean, like KO crack, like seeing stars shit, motherfucker.
Do you remember when we fall out of the ceiling upside down and tick and all that shit, and then you're like, I wonder what that is, and we ran for it. That wasn't scripted. When he grabs me and spins me around, like, you remember that? Totally threw me for a loop.
That's right.
Yeah.
And when we were in the tunnel and we're smacking each other, he's a cheater. He fucking dick punched. I don't know if he intended to, but
did I?
Yes, dude.
Right?
Yes, man. No can defend dick punch. No can defend if do right. No can defend.
Okay, guys, we got time for one last question. Way there in the back.
Actually, I was wondering, since Norman was here, if you'd be nice enough to tell the donut story, because my best friend has never seen Boondock Saints, and I've been telling her about it for like years.
It never happened, by the way.
And I've told her about the donut story, and she doesn't believe me.
There's a donut story, there's a drop the soap story, there's a can't ride a horse story. There's so many stories. Half of them are true. Some of them are totally true. Some of them aren't true at all.
I'll tell you the donut story. Do you want me to add extra shit, or you want me to leave it as is?
It gets bigger every time we hear it. 10 years of this story started like this. Now it's like this. But yeah,
So
I'm
it
curious.
comes to
I'm
rap
curious where
time.
we're
I
at.
don't know if you guys know about movies, but it's common that you give, your castmates, crew people, a rap gift, So we were in Canada, and y'all have your Timmy Hortons.
It's a rap gift now?
It's a rap gift. So it was like Timmy Hortons. On the ride, I know, you got to get your Timmy bits. I understood. Tim Hortons kicks ass, by the way. The only place where you can get like an under $2 cup of coffee that rules, and those little chocolate donut nuggets. Oh! So check it out. So there was an American, like a Winchell's Donuts across the street. So I got Norman a dozen donuts. He goes in his trailer and he comes out. He goes, "Dude, there's donuts in my trailer." I'm like, "It's a rap gift, man. I got donuts for rap gift." He's like, "Oh, okay." So the next day I come back. I'm like, "Oh, did you like those donuts?" He's like, "I didn't eat them yet." I'm like, "Dude, you gotta get on those. Those are fucking good glazed donuts. Check them out." Come back the next day. He's like, "Yeah." So I ate a couple of them. I go in there, look at. There's like 2 of them missing.
This story gets bigger every time I hear it.
So check it out. The next day, there's like 2 missing. So I bring him into the makeup shop where he's getting all dusted up and groomed and everything. And I said, "Have some more." He's snacking them. Anyway, so I'm like, "Oh, dude, had a great time. We made a great movie. It's a killer. Wonderful to meet you and everything." And we leave and we go our separate ways. He's in LA. I'm in LA. We live about a block away from each other. Anyway, at that point, I stuck in the mail a box of Polaroids of me sitting in a Barca lounger with a glaze on my Jimmy Johnson.
Nobody believes this fucking story. If I had that picture, I would show everybody that picture.
That shit happened, man.
Yeah, right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to wrap up the panel. Any
Yo,
final words?
guys. We met Henry Winkler a couple months ago. That was really fucking cool. And it was like that dude that, like, we go to these and we see all kind of famous people and celebrities and whatnot. And to me, it was like that was a different level. That was like the Fonz, right? And it's pretty rare when roles like that come along and they match it with, the right actor to play it, and he hits it out of the park. You know what I mean? And a lot of people say, like, "Oh, it's when a character like that's easy because the writing's so amazing." Let me tell you this: an amazingly written role, 99.9% of the actors, even though it's a fastball straight over home plate, they'd chip it right down the first baseline maybe for an easy out, or they'd slice it for a foul. My boy Reedus took Daryl Dixon and sat Mark McGuire the fuck down with his hellacious swing and cracked that fucker over the center field fence. That motherfucker is Fonzie.
Thank you, bro.
That motherfucker is Fonzie. So give it up to the Fonz.
Thank you. I still have a crush on you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys,
Please
thank you very
exit
much
by
for
the
showing
back of
us.
the
This
room.
was killer. It's an honor that you guys show up to rooms like this to hear us tell stupid shit. So we're flattered. I hope you guys keep doing it. It's an honor. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us. For real.
All right, everybody, please try and come out through the 2 back doors here.